I'm Jen Weir, founder and builder of the Healing Havens, and these are the Freedom Files, where we have conversations that help you release survival mode, heal emotionally, and reclaim the life that you were created for. And today's topic is breaking free, how to release emotional blocks. So let me ask you, have you ever felt emotionally stuck? Like no matter what happens around you, your mood just won't shift. Maybe it's a lingering sadness, persistent anxiety, or an overwhelming sense of stagnation that just won't go away. Obviously, these are emotional blockages, which we all know that, but the hard thing is knowing how to release it, where they become trapped, why they become trapped, and knowing, by the way, that they prevent you from fully being free to do whatever it is that you were designed to do. The good news is you don't have to stay stuck. What we need to do is understand how emotional blockages affect your life and your mind, and then help you take intentional steps forward to that emotional freedom, which is what we're going to do today. So what does it mean to be emotionally blocked? So being emotionally blocked means that you feel stuck in a particular emotional state. Even when external circumstances change, and even for the better, somebody who is stuck in emotional blocking, instead of the emotions flowing naturally and effortlessly through you, they become stagnant. So it's like a pond that has no movement. Our emotions are designed to flow and move, which is why I tell people all the time, you need to cry. Don't pride yourself on not crying. You need to feel anger. Don't be all, I'm super, emotionally sound because I don't ever get angry. That's not normal. It's supposed to ebb and flow. The thing is when you have negative emotions, they're not supposed to stay there, right? We don't want to stay angry for life. We don't want to be crying for life. It's release and then we move on. When we do that, when we have the emotions be stagnant, it can make life difficult to respond to anything that's going on in a balanced and flexible way. So over time, stuck emotions can impact your physical health, your mental clarity, and really your overall well-being. So the mind and the body are deeply connected. I think right now we know in 2026, we all know this by now. What you think in your mind can affect your body, right? Many of us have experienced feeling nervous or thinking about something that we're anxious about, and then we feel it in our heart, we feel it in our gut, right? So when these emotions are not properly processed, they can manifest in things that you may not expect or desire. So what are some ways that these can affect, the emotion blockages can affect your body? Well, the one thing I see a lot in women is their endocrine system. When emotions are blocked, your body may respond in prolonged stress response. This can lead to increased cortisol production, which can disrupt your sleep, your metabolism, and mood regulation. Over time, that chronic stress can weaken the immune system and contribute to hormone imbalances. And at my age and the circle of people that I hang with, the talk of menopause issues is rampant. And frankly, if your emotions are in check and right, many times you don't have those endocrine come aparts that I like to say, as you're seeing now. Another part of the body that can have some issues is the respiratory system. Being emotionally blocked often leads to like shallow, rapid breathing, right? You breathe from here versus down here in your belly. And that reduces oxygen flow, which can increase feelings of being stressed, anxious, or even being tired. Many people don't realize how closely their emotions are tied to their breath. Even now, as I'm talking, I find myself, obviously, because I'm speaking, the breath comes from up here. But you'll often see me as I do speaking videos or public speaking that I make myself slow down. When you make yourself slow down, particularly when you're speaking and when you're thinking, you oxygenate your brain and it creates more clarity. So how you're able to release these and restore flow is really quite simple. I'm going to give you a few tips here to help you. So the key to emotional freedom is learning to move emotions through your body rather than storing them. And there's not a one-size-fits-all emotional release for everyone. Just like physical fitness and really eating, it's not a one size fits all for everybody. So I'm just going to share with you some ideas, not the idea. Okay. So the first one is emotion code or body code therapy. You can get a book on Amazon. I'll put a link here in the description below. This is energy healing, and it's a technique that helps identify and release trapped emotions that may be causing physical and emotional distresses. By recognizing these blocks, you can begin to clear them and you create space for new positive emotional experiences. The second thing, which is one of my favorite ways, is called Aroma Freedom Technique, or AFT for short. So this is a guided emotional releasing practice using essential oils to remove unwanted or trapped emotions, thereby creating space for positive ones that you desire to have. So you do it through breath work, through a little bit of journaling, and application of essential oils. The Aroma Freedom Technique is such a powerful way to move negative emotions out of the body and restore emotional balance. And that's something that, in my opinion, is best done with someone who does Aroma Freedom Technique. I'm an Aroma Freedom Technique practitioner. Doing it on your own is possible. It's just not always as effective. It's nice to have somebody who can guide you through the process to help you see blind spots that you may not always see. A third way is imagery and visualization. So using your imagination is a very simple way, an effective way, rather, to release emotional stagnation. So you picture your emotional blocks as like a physical object. Maybe you think of them as like a heavy rock that's in your chest or even a dark cloud around you. And then you begin to visualize that object dissolving or floating away. Or my favorite thing, because I like doing this, like almost like acting out what the Bible says about casting your cares on the Lord. So if I'm picturing a stagnant emotion, like a heavy rock, I would literally be chucking that rock at the Lord. It's just a way to engage your whole body and your mind and your spirit in the process, helping you become more free. Another way to release emotional blocks is meditation and mindfulness. Practicing non-judgmental awareness of your emotions through meditation helps you process them out without resistance. So instead of fighting or suppressing emotions, just being mindful allows you to observe the emotions that you're feeling or experiencing, and then just let them go in a very natural way. So when you sit there and you meditate and be mindful of being aware, this is how I feel, not even having to make an excuse or qualify why you're feeling it, just feel angry right now, feel sad. That way you can just release it. So often we sit in judgment over how we feel by the emotions we experience. We simply can get rid of them by being curious and allowing them to surface and then leave the body. See, so often emotion blockages happen because we won't even acknowledge it. We judge the emotion and say, I shouldn't be feeling angry. I shouldn't be feeling sad. This is silly. When you judge it, it can't get released. But just by saying, this is how I feel, don't know why, don't care why. Or maybe I do know why, but I'm not going to judge it. Easily released. And once it can be released and you feel lighter, then we can shift quite dramatically, frankly, into a more positive mindset. The last thing is prayer and affirmations. Faith and intentional words have powerful healing effects. Whether it's through prayer or affirmations, reinforcing positive beliefs can help rewire your mind and your brain and release those emotional blocks. Renewing your mind is a critical task and practice in order to thrive in life. Saying affirmations in the positive, like this: every breath I take fills me with calmness and releases any stuck emotions. You might even reframe it and say, every breath that I take now, I choose to release, fill in the blank, and I receive calmness. Something like that. You might even say something Like I allow myself to feel liberated and light. Affirmations are just ways that you can strengthen your brain. So here's my final thoughts on emotional blockages. They don't have to control your life, and they don't have to live with you forever. By integrating these practices that I mentioned and really finding your own that work into your daily routine, that can begin to dissolve stuck emotions and create space for healing, joy, and balance. Again, as you practice these, be curious. Choose one today and say, I'm just going to be curious. What would it be like to breathe in an essential oil and release this sorrow? What would it be like to journal how I'm feeling about this without judgment and just let my thoughts go? Begin small. Take a deep breath. Notice how your body feels. With time and practice, you will begin to experience a greater sense of emotional freedom, emotional resilience, and more inner peace. So if you want a guide to help you, and if you think, yeah, I'm ready, I want to play around with some emotion releasing, but I really just don't know where to start, I have a Discover Emotion Wellness guide right below. It's free. Just click on the link, and I'm happy to give that to you as a gift. So it's an introduction to emotional releasing. But most of all, don't let trapped emotions hold you back from peace and freedom that you deserve. Thank you for watching this episode of The Freedom Files. Don't forget to like,